What is the most underappreciated contribution of the Catholic Church to Western civilization?
Oh, geez. All right, well, this is just for people who might not know, this is a reference to my book, How the Catholic Church Built Western Civilization, and it's organized in a series of chapters. So I'll talk about science. Science is the longest chapter because everybody thinks, well, the church hated science because they just want people to be stupid and ignorant, to keep putting the money in the collection plate and all that. I know that. And that was the conventional wisdom through the Enlightenment. That was why Voltaire was so unhappy, at least one reason. Then it was the conventional wisdom up through the late 19th century, when the president of Cornell wrote a 2-volume history on the alleged warfare between science and theology. That was Andrew Dixon White, Cornell. That was the conventional wisdom. That's not the conventional wisdom anymore. As of the 1950s, real historians of science do not believe that anymore. And if you don't believe me, there's a company called The Great Courses, and they sell courses taught by some of the top professors. Now, they are as plain vanilla as can be because they don't want to offend anybody. And because they're not libertarian, they're not conservative, they're not liberal, they just want to sell courses. So I took their history of science course just because I needed to see, what is the guy saying? And sure enough, even there, when they're being as vanilla and inoffensive as possible, even they are saying, yeah, we've long since moved this past the simplistic, the church hated science sort of thing, that we don't buy into that anymore. It's a much more interesting and complicated story, and I tell that in my book. So I guess I'll just stop there, but the book talks about international law, which, by the way, international law does not have to mean the United Nations. It simply has to mean an understanding that there are certain general principles that apply not just to your enemy, but to you too. That all peoples, in order to be moral, have to subject themselves to. Things like that. Also, our current understanding of charity, that you, when you help somebody, you help them without expectation of reciprocity. Or you make a donation, you don't necessarily do it to get your name on the building. This would have been thought of as unthinkable and inexplicable in ancient Greece or Rome. So there are a lot of things that we just are not aware of that we've inherited, whether we like it or not, from the church.